happen to have the cops on you, you can drive to the nearest car wash, use the car wash, and for some reason the cops will no longer be able to recognize you. Otherwise, if you go towards standing cops as Michael holding a weapon, they wouldn't bother to do anything with you. But when you come towards them as Franklin and just even drop a baseball on the floor, you can see them walking towards you and actually coming to arrest you. But even better, if you go to any ammunition shop and aim at the ammunition shop owner, he will try to defend himself. You can call the cops on him, which they actually show up after a while and arrest him the American way, of course. But did you know if you pick up your phone and call this number, you will start to see thunder effects appear around the map, which makes sense because this number is actually the date of when the first movie released for Thor, the God of Thunder.
If you pull out your phone and call this specific number, it will actually spawn a secret vehicle for you. The interesting thing about this vehicle is that even when you crash it multiple times, it doesn't take any damage. Otherwise, did you know if you aim your gun at some NPCs, they will run away? But there is actually certain NPCs where they will drop their money in fear before running off. Other than that, if you go to this location on the map and follow around to the back of this location, you can find a rare hidden secret supercar which doesn't spawn every time. So you will have to be lucky. But did you know if you pay Lester a visit after completing the game, 100%, you won't actually find him at his house? If you follow along the street, you can find him standing with a board in his hand, which when you look closely, you can see that he is asking around for money. Looks like the heist cut didn't help after all. But if you actually go back to Lester's house and go around the back of it, you can find crates of cash hidden. And if you look even closer, you can see crates of diamonds from the famous Diamond Casino heist. Did you know on Franklin's first mission on GTA 5, if you decide to pick the red car and not drive off after a while, you will actually see the owner of the vehicle come and drag you out to attack you? But did you also know that if you decide to choose option B on the last GTA mission and visit Michael's house after defeating him, you can actually catch Amanda and Trevor in the bedroom getting up to something fishy. Other than that, there is a 1% chance that if you go to this specific location on the map and go around to the back, you can find a secret supercar, which looks and drives like an upgraded version of the famous Bugatti. But if you pull out your phone and call this number on your phone, you can start to see meteoroids falling from the sky onto the map and the NPCs running and screaming for their lives. But the funny thing is that if you walk into a police station as Michael, the officers won't even pay attention to you. But if you use Franklin instead and walk into the police station, the police will decide to take you in for some questions. The American way, of course. Did you know if you go to this location on the map and go along the path, you can actually find stacks of cash all over the floor? But the funny thing is, if you are playing the jewel store heist and you stay in the store after the timer runs out, you will see a secret cutscene added of you and your crew being arrested by the police. Another one is, if you go to rob a snack store, the owner will easily give up the money to you, but if you manage to go back to that same store to rob it this time, the owner will be prepared to fight back. Another secret, when Michael tells Franklin to drive into Simeon's shop, but you don't listen to what he says and drive into a different direction, you will actually see a secret cutscene where Michael gives Franklin a headache. Other than that, if you pull out your phone and call this number and then pull out your pistol from the weapon wheel and start shooting it, you will see that monkeys will be fired out instead. But did you know, if you go to this location on the map and check in the garage of the house, you will be able to find a rare supercar which you can actually store in Franklin's garage. If you pull out your phone and call this exact number, it will spawn a rare supercar, which is actually an upgraded version of Franklin's main car. Otherwise, if you go into a convenience store, as Michael the owner will greet you nicely every single time. But if you decide to go in as Franklin instead, this time, the owner will give you a very special welcome. Other than that, if you pull out your phone as Michael and call this exact number, you will change your character permanently to Lester, and you can also see that all Michael cutscenes will be replaced with Lester instead. But if you go to this exact location and go around to the back, you can see a famous GTA Online bike, also known as the Oppressor Mark II. This vehicle is banned, but for some reason, it's still on story mode, and this is the only location where you are able to find it. But did you know that if you also go to this location on the map and go to the exact house around the back, shown you can find a NPC, which, if you haven't guessed it already, it's Carl Johnson, also known as CJ, from GTA San Andreas. If you pull out your phone as Michael and call this specific number, your character model will actually change into Brad from the first GTA 5 mission. Otherwise, did you know when you are playing the first GTA 5 mission prologue, and when you come outside to escape the cops but you drive a completely opposite way, shown to you, you can actually find character models of different characters in the distance. Other than that, if you visit Franklin's neighborhood after completing the game, 100%, you will see that the other NPCs will greet you with never-seen-before new interactions, but if you go with Trevor instead, they will greet you in a completely different way. But did you know if you walk into a convenience store, as Franklin the owner won't be too happy? But you can actually pull out your phone and call the cops, and the store owner will actually give you all his money and run off. But did you also know if you have a 5-star wanted level, you can actually go into an ammunition shop that has a firing range, and the police won't be able to follow you in to arrest you, and they will eventually just give up. If you pull out your phone and call this specific number, you will spawn in a secret supercar, which actually looks like an upgraded version of the Deluxo. And if you press the jump button, the car will start to jump. Other than that, did you know if you are using Franklin and someone picks a fight on you on the street, you can call the cops in them? But after a while, the cops will show up and actually start questioning you instead. But did you know if you pull out your phone as Franklin and call this number, you will see that Franklin will now unlock a brand new secret haircut, which you can actually keep forever. Otherwise, if you happen to have the cops on you, you can quickly go to the nearest car wash on the map. And after using the car wash, the cops will no longer be able to recognize you, even if you drive near them. But did you know, if you got to this certain location on the map and go around to this certain area, you will find a hidden Easter egg character, also known as Ronaldo. But be very careful when you actually go near him, he will dive and start asking for a penalty. Did you know after completing the game 100%, if you find the train on the map and use the atomizer gun to get rid of the train driver, you will actually be able to enter the train and take control of it, which also means you can finally stop the train. Otherwise, if you play the jewel store heist and decide to use Norm Richards as one of your crew members, you will see that when you are escaping, right before entering the tunnel, he will crash, and his cut of the money will drop onto the floor. Other than that, if you go to this location on the map and take the helicopter to a very high altitude, you will see a secret UFO appear. This only shows up if you have completed the game 100%, but if you pull out your phone and call this specific number, you will receive a new banned secret weapon in your loadout, also known as the atomizer gun. With this weapon, you can make anything jump by shooting it. But if you go to this location on the map and follow the path, you will find everyone's favorite car, the Nissan GTR parked. The only problem is if you reach a very high speed, it will actually set on fire. Did you know, if there is a random person knocked out on the street, you can pull out your phone and call the paramedics, and after a while, they will show up and actually wake the person back up. But did you know, if you are using Franklin and drive your car very badly near a cop car, the cop will actually pull you over and start asking questions and taking notes. Otherwise, if you go to this exact location on the map, you will find a garage that opens up when you walk near it. And inside you will see a hidden supercar. This car only spawns once you have completed the game 100%. Other than that, after completing the Franklin and Lamar mission, and you go to Fleeka Bank, which is located on the east side of the map along the highway, and you go inside the bank, you will actually see Lester at the bank before you actually see him be a part of the story. But did you also know if you call up this number on your phone, a secret vehicle will spawn, which you can only find at this exact location on the map. And the interesting thing about this vehicle is you can actually grab random NPCs and take them for a ride. But did you know if you pull out your phone and call this exact number on your phone, you will actually see snow appear all over the map. It will stay like this until you restart the game. Otherwise, after completing the Diamond Casino heist and you decide to go back inside, and then walk into the restroom of the Diamond Casino, you will actually see Lester Crest at the back of the toilets crying for some reason. Other than that, if you press the jump button 3 times and then the punch button twice, you will unlock the ability to drop money onto the floor. But the funny thing is, if you drop the money around NPCs, they will run to actually pick up the money off the floor. But did you know a hidden detail that Rockstar added was if you fire back at a NPC that has a weapon but aim at their hands, it will disarm the weapon out their hands? Otherwise, did you know if you go to this location on the map and follow the path, you will actually find a hidden supercar, which also looks like an Audi R8. The only problem is, as soon as you take this car for a drive, you will instantly get 5 stars. So have fun trying to escape.